his third in Chelsea colours, Jason. Miller again.
Petit stayed on. This is a wonder strike from Makelele.
He sent it straight back to Samuel.
Jump down and have fight. That's all we'll ever like. That can never change my mind.
A magnificent
When it's
Hernandez opportunity, isn't
it's
it? At the far post, steered it
when it's
goal.
bad.
Michael Ballack, it's in! Didier Drogba, I'm going to say it now. It is written in the stars.
possibly bleak as this.
When it hurts like this.
Comes out to Essien. Who's putting away nicely. This is Ruud Gullit, and that's two.
Ashley Cole! Oh my goodness! What a start to the second half!
He done it!
Hello. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Chelsea Road to Glory. In today's episode, we got two very good marquee players, in my opinion. The first one is Prime Icon Moments DECO, and the second one is Future Stars Reece James, the right back version. And just now I showed you guys how we played in game in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, with DECO as the right CM and Reece James obviously playing at right back. I was contemplating trying them at center back, since that's what most people have been doing for a while now, where they play just like right here, they play Reece James at center back just because they have so many other options. But for us, we don't have that luxury given the center backs available within our budget. For the clips, since we have to talk about Reece James, I wanted to record the whole game, like all 90 minutes, just so I can edit out the parts and just show you guys the essential parts. Also, this clip right here, along with some other ones that I put in, I just wanted to show you guys that the amount of delay that I actually have in certain situations, even when I'm presented with a opportunity to move the ball forward or try to go in for a scoring opportunity. The delay is very it's very evident, and it's kind of hard to try to play consistently with this in mind. But it's just because I don't have an Ethernet and they're not available where I'm at, so I have to deal with that. Obviously in squad battles there's no issue like that, but these clips from Reece James are just like stuff that I would half expect his normal card to do. I mean, I know his normal card is like 77 rated or something like that, and so I'm not expecting a whole bunch, but like this 86 for me just feels nuts. Like whoever is on that flank is just getting pocketed by Reece. And right here, I don't know why he was playing as a second CDM there, but he did pretty good. DECO there showing a bit of his strength and then putting in a through ball for Robin to score that. DECO has been pretty good. I'm glad we finally have a replacement for Kovacic, since he doesn't have any special cards, and DECO will obviously fulfill that role pretty well, apart from the fact that he doesn't have that much of defensive abilities. But I mean, the idea is to just have him be as a ball holder and then progress the play forward. Reece James is just the ultimate defense in this team for now. Before it was Chilwell, and Ake still is doing a fantastic job, in my opinion. I mean, I'm only like Div 3, and there was that clip that I just showed about Ake not getting to the ball, but I mean, he's been doing fine here. We considered a pretty bad goal, and then I just went on like a rampage where I didn't want him to touch the ball, and he did a horrible job defending it because he only picked Vieira during the midfield, and then he went on his left center back, and I think his right center back might have been Kyle Walker, but we lost that game. But it is what it is. Here in the second game, we got a little decent squad to come up against. Neymar and Mbappe, always an issue. The Curtis Jones card in center mid. That what if Mbabu is pretty decent. And here, James doing a little bit of a celebration for his defensive duties, and Tomori here is just, that was a totally unexpected defensive maneuver there in the 90th minutes to make sure that the opponent doesn't equalize. And here Pulisic and Zola. And honestly, when I'm able to play in like smooth gameplay and my passes are accurate and the players do what I want them to do, I just fall in love with the team more and more. And right in this particular episode, we did drop Timo Werner, and we only used him as a super sub whenever it was really late into the game. We would bring on Robin and Timo, or it would be Robin and Higuain, depending on what I wanted. And a pretty good goal there from DECO when he had his run coming inside. And now we have a couple things from previous content that came out. Obviously, with the episodes being a week apart, we get a bunch of content that gets released. And we got our rewards from the Thursday that just passed. And two things actually came out that I'm really excited about. The first thing that came out was the Icon Moments Balak that came out on Friday, and that was pretty exciting because obviously, given our road to glory, Balak is going to be a good additional player. There's no like rush to complete him, but I kind of want to get him as soon as I could, but it still might be a while away considering I have some duties outside of FIFA, and I still need to grind now for the I guess the league players. We have Benedetto to grind for, and Ruben Neves and Pastore, and we gotta get those guys for the last squad of Balak. Right now I have 4 out of 7, and I'm waiting on Monaco to score their 6 goals and have Diarra get his upgrade, and then I just need to buy like 1 or 2 players for that squad, and then that'll get submitted, and then I'll just need the last 2, and that's gonna be a bit tough to complete. It might have to wait. Balak will have to wait because I do want to try to get back into Weekend League just so I can get 2 player picks and hope for a 87 rated at least, because now we're getting into the back end of FIFA where informs are getting higher, even if they are pretty bad cards or high rated cards for players that are just considered fodder and not meta. So hopefully I can get my hands on some and just put them into Balak. Obviously we're still waiting for the end of March, I guess, because that's when EA gives us swaps, the tokens for swaps 2. And hopefully we'll get Ashley Cole as soon as possible, just so we can have, hopefully we have Balak and Cole at the same time. That would be nice. or we can separate it out. Obviously, with the flashbacks that are rolling out, we could see Ivanovic, Pedro, maybe even Loic Remy, now that he's back with a card. But yeah, for right now we're just waiting. I'm trying to grind the game as much as I can. Obviously, I can't dedicate 24 hours per day, but I try my best. And Balak will probably take maybe 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how my schedule works. Cole is obviously gonna come next month. I'll probably get him as soon as possible. Cause I think come come in April, that's when I'll probably like stop playing as much, because I'll have some other duties outside of FIFA that will require even more priority than they do now. But that's a story for another time. What else we got? We got a player pick. I know we got the what if guarantee, which is where we got the auto from. I don't know if that's already spoiled, but oh, there it is. We got the auto from, which at first I was kind of disappointed, because I was like, oh, this is just like some dead 85 that nobody wants. And then I saw he was like 100k, and I think his lowest was like 80k, which I'm sad, because I could have gone in at 80k and then sold when he was like 110, 120. Because there was a lot of panic on the market for some reason, and I don't even remember what was the actual reason for the panic. Because I think it was the FUT Player Days promo, quote unquote. That thing showed up and then ended, and nobody knows like why they did it. But if you're in the loop with what's happening with fodder, obviously, if you pay attention to it, they probably just did it because of the fact that it was so high, and player days is the easiest excuse to just throw out packs, even though the only thing that was in packs was the team of the week, what if player 2, and moments cards and prime cards that you can't even get unless you're like super lucky. But yeah, they dropped that promo. They didn't even do like any special SPCs with it, maybe like something cool. I mean, we got Joe Hart and we got Cavani, but I mean, for our Road to Glory, it's like it doesn't even matter. I mean, even if we had a regular Road to Glory, I don't even think I would have Joe Hart at this point. I mean, our Road to Glory kind of is a little handicap, but I mean, it's a handicap with a purpose, and that purpose is just to try to prove that you can play with whatever team that you want, if you really want. And I think there's a lot of other content creators out there that try to push that same message, and they do it far better than I do, obviously, because they have more skill. But I mean, they have the skill, they have the heart, I have the heart, and I'm just missing 50% of the skill to just be able to dominate with cards that people wouldn't even dare to use just because they're not meta. Like today we had Tony Rudiger come out, and initially I was like very excited because I was like, oh, it's Rudiger, we have a center back option now. Unfortunately we don't have David Luiz, but Rudiger, we can try him out. I mean, we will try him out, and we'll use him and see how he is. But a lot of people will look at his acceleration and be like, it's not a good card. I mean, it is expensive to do an 83 and 85. But I mean, if you're willing to to put in the effort with a card and make them work, you know, more power to you. But sometimes the meta actually does just go against you and you can't really do anything about it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys.